This is the Lyndsay Stafford Show.
All right, welcome back to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. We're happy to have you back. I have a special guest today. Anyone who's been listening to the show, I think, Jim, we're almost at 100 episodes, right? I think we're there. I love entrepreneurship. And one of the things that Dave and I are really passionate about is helping young entrepreneurs. And we've had the privilege of meeting Carter Patton. I'm very excited to have him on the show today. He's got a lot of success and very excited about what he's doing here in Williamson County. So, Carter, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. Tell our audience a little bit about you and what your business does.
So I'm Carter Patton. I own Patton Junk Demo. I started out doing it in high school a little bit, and then I ended up going to college at Ole Miss. I graduated and I just got back. But we did junk removal, any kind of junk that you need gone, and then any kind of structural removal that you need gone. I'm trying to get into bigger houses, getting those knocked over and everything.
Nice. So the basement room that I have that's full of stuff that we've had in our house for 10 years, that half of it needs to go to the...
That's what I do. I get all that rid
I need to call you for that, right?
For sure.
Okay, so you graduated from University of Mississippi with a degree in entrepreneurship. And I know when we first met, I said, oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that you chose that. What made you choose entrepreneurship as your field?
I chose entrepreneurship because I always knew I wanted to do something by myself and build a brand by myself and get something going that can be valuable in the community and help other people out while also building my personal self.
Yeah, I love it. I love entrepreneurship. So now that you've entered into the business world, and I know it hasn't been a long time because you literally just graduated, but what has been surprising to you based on what you learned in school?
I would say the networking aspect of it. They kind of just teach you like the foundation of everything at school, but they don't really say like, you got to go meet a bunch of people and all the referrals and everything. So that's been a lot to learn, but I like doing it. So
yeah, it's interesting because most of the business owners that we meet with, there's a phase in your business where that is really what drives your business is the face-to-face connections. Jim and I met at Business Networking International BNI chapter, which we're both still in BNI. And that first year for me was about 50% of my business came from just that one networking avenue. So that's great. And it's definitely something, it's interesting when you get out of school and you're like, wait, they didn't prepare me for this part. And this is how I generate that business, right? I know how to do the business, but how do I build it? Yeah. Sure. Interesting. So what made you decide to take a leap into business ownership rather than a traditional career path?
I just wanted to just be free. The freedom of it's nice, but it's also a little scarier because you don't have a paycheck coming in every week. You got to go get it yourself. But I always like being like that and just going to get it if it's out there.
I love it. The eat, you got to eat what you kill. So you got to go kill something, right? There's so many like Instagram memes or reels or whatever floating around. And there's so many that I laugh about entrepreneurship. Yeah. Like you have $20,000 in the bank, but you know you can't spend $1 of it because none of it goes to you.
Yeah, literally.
So as a newer entrepreneur, what's been the biggest challenge for you?
I'd say visibility, reaching the largest audience. It's just kind of hard when you're first starting out, but I think once you get there, it'll be a lot better. But just getting your name out there is probably the hardest part. Just figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Yeah.
And I think for someone who's new in business and when you're trying to do it without going into debt or taking on big loans, it becomes, how do I get really creative with generating business at no cost, right? Because we've talked about what you can do, but there's an investment when you think about all the things that a successful business does to make sure they're present and found. But it's things like this, and I'll share some things with our listeners too, because I know we have new business owners listening to us. Things like going to whatever networking events you can find. Eventbrite sometimes has some good ones, but plugging into your local Facebook groups to look at what's happening there. Making sure everyone you know knows what you do. Yeah. Are you present on social media? Because at this day, when we're recording this, social media is still free. So are you out there looking for opportunities to put your name out there? And then associating yourself with some kind of organization where you can give back and be a part of. I've talked about this a lot, the Entrepreneur Innovation Center here in Williamson County. I've been a mentor there. I think it's been 7 or 8 years now. And that's a great place to go to meet other business owners, but also to make a difference and to give back and mentor. Obviously, they don't meet in the summer because the kids aren't in school. But something like that, I plugged into that a long time ago when I started my business, and it was a way for me to give back. But it's also been a great way to meet other business owners and exchange business. So some free tips there. And one thing that I don't think we gets enough press is sponsoring small things like the local schools, the banners at schools. I mean, you can spend big money at the schools, but you can also do $100 or $200 banners that don't cost a lot of money. You're giving back and you're getting a ton of exposure. So that's a great way for a new business to get out there. So what is one thing that you've learned coming out of school combined with your first experience that you think every aspiring entrepreneur should know?
I think you just got to get going. I don't think you need to wait around. There's no perfect time to start. You just got to start with what you got and keep it going.
Yep.
Trying to get better every day.
Do it ugly is one of my favorite phrases because you won't know everything. You just do it ugly.
You'll fail a lot. You just got to keep making it.
Yep. And this is another thing that I saw this week that my director of operations and I were laughing about because we're changing things always in our business because the world is constantly changing. If you say, oh, this is how I've always done it, forget it. Like you're lost. Yeah. We're always changing. And I saw this thing that was like, I look at being an entrepreneur is looking at yourself every 6 months and going, what an idiot I was 6 months ago. Because you're just constantly coming up with new things and changing, and you learn as you go from those mistakes. So that's great. What skills do you think are most important for young entrepreneurs to develop today?
I'd say communication, just being able to communicate, because a lot of people can't communicate these days, and just slowing down and making sure you're doing everything right. But you're always going to mess up, but you just got to learn from your mistakes.
Communication is so critical, and it's in the small things. It's how you look at your customers. It's the timeliness of when you arrive and when you're finished, and communicating the process with them, right? And so many people fail because they aren't communicating effectively. What tips do you have for that?
I'll just say be present and just take care of your customers. Just always make sure they know when you're coming, when you're leaving. Take pictures before and after pictures, show them you did a good job. Do the whole 9 yards.
Love it. One other tip I always like to share this is when you get to the end of a job, ask for a testimony and a review right there at the end of the job.
For sure. I've definitely messed up on that by waiting, and then they never get to it.
They won't do it.
You got to do it right there when you're right in front of them.
And you can even offer an incentive off their bill, like, hey, I'll take $10 off if you can give me a testimony right now, and record them on a testimony and pop it on your socials free. Those are all free things you can do to get your business out there. So it's interesting that you went to school for entrepreneurship. Tell me about your journey. Who influenced you? Was it business owners, mentors, parents?
I would say my dad.
Okay.
My dad, he pretty much came from nothing, and then he made his own company. Well, he didn't make his own company, but now he has his own company pretty much. And then just to see him kill it and do what he does just made me want to do the same thing. And he's always preaching entrepreneurship. That's what he's always told me. He said, you don't want to be working for someone else your whole life. Like, just figure it out and I'll help you. And he's been a big help to me too.
Oh, I love that. I hope your dad hears that. That's great. I hope my kids say that someday too. Both of my kids have their own small business.
Well, also my mom too, but.
Oh, I love that. And does she support the business with your dad? Yeah. So it's both of them, but he was that, that figure for you. Super cool. Sure. What are some goals you're working towards in this next season?
I'm just trying to get my brand to be known by other people, reaching more people, but also trying to get in contact with like real estate people, contractors, property managers, just grow into doing bigger jobs.
Great. So just spreading the word.
Yeah, pretty much just getting my name out there as much as I can.
Get your first year under your belt. Yeah, I love that. So for college graduates or college students or recent grads who dream of owning a business, maybe they didn't have the experience that you had with parents that supported that, encouraged it, and set the example. What advice would you give them? Just to start somewhere and get going, but also surround yourself with other people that want to do the same things as you and have the same goals. I think if you're around people that want the same things as you, it helps you out a lot. And you always want to be around people that want the same things as you. Yep. I love that. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals and just don't wait to get started. Just start. Don't wait at all. Just start. Just start. Start with whatever you have. There's so many resources today to help you get started that there's no reason that you can't. Okay. Before I let you go, I have one more question. I want you to tell us, what do you stand for? What does Patton Junk Demo stand for?
I want to be known for just helping out the community the most. I want to be an influence in the community, and then also just being dependable, fast, quick, and like the whole 9 yards, just doing everything correctly, no issues at all times.
And that's one of the reasons we brought you on, because of the integrity that you're operating your business with. Thank you for being my guest today. We're excited to have you and have this episode air. Everyone, thanks for tuning in today. This episode featured Carter Patton with Patton Junk and Demolition. Thanks for tuning in to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. If you found value in this, send it to someone, maybe someone who's looking for some inspiration. And we also ask that you like, share, comment, rate, review, and subscribe.